Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I don't like false narratives. You know, the stories that set up a untruth about a people or a group of people, and it's just told over and over and over throughout time. It's a false story. But I think worse than false narratives, I don't like false arguments. And whenever I see them, I try to stay as far away from them as possible. Sometimes you have to stop and speak the truth just so that those people who are really the good people who get pulled into the false argument can realize what's going on. That's what's happening with critical race theory. Now, if you haven't heard of critical race theory before lately, the last few months when people are arguing over teaching critical race theory to elementary school students, don't don't feel bad about it. Don't feel like here's another thing that I didn't know, and how did I not know critical race theory? Critical race theory was created by Derek Bell and some others, I think back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. Nah, early 70s, actually. Faces at the Bottom of the Well, amazing book by Derek Bell. Derek Bell was a Harvard legal scholar. Now, by the way, he wasn't brilliant because he was at Harvard. Harvard got him because he was brilliant. Anyway, Derek Bell says that in order to really understand the legal system, you have to look at the systemic nature of racism because the two are so enmeshed. And a lot of times you look at it, you'll see the word intersection. I think he went further than intersection. He said that they've muddied the waters. The systemic racism has muddied the waters of the legal system so much that you can't look at the legal system without looking at racism. So if you haven't heard about this, chances are you didn't take, sociological courses on race, or you were not a legal scholar or something like that. So the question becomes, why do you think they'd be teaching this to elementary school students? Anybody? 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 No. What will be taught is history. What will be taught is lessons on civility. What will be taught is the understanding that racism has been pervasive in our society, and that it has affected the way we move and grow and do, and that we need to learn and teach our children that racism is not the right way to go. Now, we're talking about it at the personal level there, not the systemic nature, because that's still hard for elementary school students to comprehend. Probably around fifth, sixth grade, you can begin to understand how entrenched it is in the system. But what's really being taught is history, that the history of this nation, that we were founded and built on enslavement of other people, that should be taught because that is the truth. And once we understand the truth, we can also look for those places, those glimmers of light, like Juneteenth, where folks started to do the right thing. Yeah, shortly afterwards, the wrong thing happened again. But this starting and stopping happens because of all of these false arguments. It's like the argument against trans women using a woman's bathroom. People started saying, do you want pedophiles in the bathroom with your children? Well, no. Okay, so you're on my side. No, that's a false argument. And we run after these aspects of the argument, never really questioning the source of the argument in the first place. What should be taught to all of our children is the truth about our history, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so that we can go forward. I read somewhere recently that someone said, I don't think my son should have to go around and apologize to all the black kids for what was done hundreds of years ago. There's nowhere in critical race theory or even teaching history where that's done. I know that I wasn't enslaved, and I know that you didn't enslave people. You didn't enslave people. I know that. The question is not whether or not you did it or I was it. The question is, what are we going to do about now? What are we going to do about the future? How are we going to dismantle these systems where the water was so muddied that everything became a part of everything, to the point where we don't even know who we are. I think we're going to get there. You're asking the right questions, you're seeking the knowledge, but don't get caught up in arguments that really don't have anything to do with the truth. I love you.